Hey folks, welcome to Power Ridge Homestead. Welcome to my kitchen. It's Teresa. Glad to see you're here. So today we're going to try old-fashioned molasses buns. This comes out of my Christmas cookbook that I got, Fat Back and Molasses. There's several recipes in here for for molasses buns. There's molasses buns or J buns, which contain pork. Just straight molasses buns, a little bit different than the one we're going to do, but pretty close, same type of thing, just different spices. And it looks like it's different spices is the main change in everything. Now this one does call for 2 cups of pork fat, and then it calls for pork scrunchions. I don't have any scrunchions on hand, and scrunchions are fat back pork that's cut into cubes and then fried up. And I'm not sure, I don't think they would be fried in this recipe. They would just be added and then they'll just melt into the pork. So we do have 2 cups of pork fat included. I've got some raisins, and then we've got some spices and some hot water, and of course we have molasses. So let's get started. This is an East Coast recipe from Newfoundland that's very popular in Newfoundland. I understand molasses cookies or molasses buns and stuff were often taken out by fishermen and by hunters because they stayed fresh quite a bit. So what I've done is I've just got 2 cups of molasses just started. And then I want ½ a cup of hot water. So I've just boiled the kettle, hot water, and then we want baking soda. So I'm just using regular bicarbonate baking soda. This is stuff that just is sitting in the fridge all the time. Not baking soda. You're actually using not baking powder. You are using baking soda. So we just want to add that to our hot water. Give it a stir. Get it foaming away. So we've got it foamy, and then we're going to add it to the molasses. Stir that up. And the hot water will help the molasses thin out a little bit more too. So we're supposed to stir it until it's foamy. Here it goes. So you can see now. Get you in here. Starting to get now. Okay, and then we want to add all of the other ingredients. So we're going to add a cup of sugar. Some spices. So we've got cloves and allspice here. We're going to add a cup of raisins. You don't have to add raisins, but I don't think raisin buns or molasses buns are any good without raisins. So we're going to add them first while we've got the liquid going. And now we want to add 2 cups of pork fat. Now this is a pork lard that I bought a while ago when we were down in the States, Pennsylvania. Up here, really, unless you make it yourself, you'll only find lard. You won't find a nice pork fat or pork tallow or anything like that. There's about 1. You could probably use shortening. I don't know. So if anybody else knows. So another cup. So that's 2 cups of pork fat. You can see how it's getting nice and foamy now too. And then we do want 3 cups of flour. So there's 1.5. And there's 3. Now it does say more if required, so we'll take a look and see how this blends in. And it looks like I'll probably have to get my hands dirty and get them in there. Now I've also put the oven on for preheat at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Supposed to keep the heat low, as it does have a tendency to burn. Molasses does because it's got such a sugar in it. we're going to add another cup. And I think I'm going to get my hands dirty now. Add another cup. That says pinch off pieces for buns, but to me, it's still not quite thick enough. So we'll add a little bit more flour. We'll try another little bit of flour. So I think we're probably almost up to that 5.5 cups now. Now I think that's good. I don't want it like a dough, but I do want it thick or heavier. So let me get my fingers cleaned off here. I need to spray this pan just to make sure that it's not, the buns won't stick. So we'll just use canola oil. It just says 200, doesn't say how long. So let's put some in here. We'll put them in side by side in this. I'm just using a 9x13 pan, and it does say just a pinch off enough for a bun. So, and if it's still too moist to handle by hands, then use agar flour. Well, this is, I think, moist enough or dry enough, but we'll see. These will probably spread into each other, so there'll be like a pull apart bun, I would think. Okay, so there's one pan. I still got quite a bit, so I'm going to get another smaller pan. Now we still do have lots left, but I don't have any more pans at the moment, and it won't fit in my oven if I do, because I have to put another pan in there with cold water as well. So I've just put a tray in here of cold water. And let's just add the pans. So it should fit. And there we go. I think I'll give them a half an hour to get started, and then I'll take a look at them. And I'm going to look up online to see if there's anything else to say how long they should cook for at a 200, because 200 is pretty low, so it's going to take a long time for them to cook. Hey folks, so we did 30 minutes, checked it, not done at all, still very sticky. Put it in for another 30 minutes at 200, still sticky, and it's spread out quite a bit into the pan, so that's okay. I did look up some recipes online, and they're all at 350, 400 for shorter periods of time. So I raised the temperature up to 350, and I put it in for about 30 minutes, and it looks good, but it looks very, very soft still, like a very fluffy pancake. So I've put it in for another 10 minutes, and I've got 5 minutes left, and we'll see how it goes. So I patted out the remaining dough, and what we can do is I've got some biscuit cutters here, and I'll just take a biscuit cutter, and we're just going to cut these out. All right, so there we go. So we've done it this way for the last batch. So let's, got 2 minutes left on the other one. Let's see how it goes. I also got to get started on dinner too. We're going to have salmon for dinner tonight and some potatoes. And I don't even know what time it is, so we'll go from there. Let's see how we get these potatoes on for mashed potatoes. See how these turned out. Oh, look at them. They turned out nice. So they are much like a flat. So I'll put this other batch in. Still got the water. Still have the water in there as well. So we'll put these on for a timer of 30 minutes. Maybe we'll do 20. But we'll wait for a second. They actually look pretty good. But they're definitely not a bun. They're more like a cake than a bun, I would say. There we go. We'll give you a view of how they are, and I'll get started on the rest of dinner. Okay, here we go. Let's try these. They smell good too. Okay. Now they're going to be kind of hard to cut because they're very thin, but I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on the back here. And because they're a little bit fluffy, it should melt in like a fresh bread. Just kind of like that. They're a little chewy. So again, I wouldn't call these buns, but I would call them more like a biscuit or a cake. And very good. You're going to have to do some investigation on line as well for other recipes, because this recipe in itself, it says bake in a slow oven of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. To me, that's too low, or it would just take too long. Because we did do an hour and it still had a lot of time left on it. But I will say they are quite good and they're very tasty. And I do like the chew that they have with them as well. So let's see how we do with the dinner tonight. So we're going to have mashed potatoes. I got packages of salmon that was still in the freezer. So we're still on our use it before you buy it again. I don't have any lettuce or anything like that left in the fridge, so I am going to have to go and get some lettuce. I do have to go get some milk as well, so we're going to head out to milk cream. So we're actually going to head out to Costco tomorrow, so I'll get some of that stuff while I'm there. But this has been an interesting recipe to do, and I'm so happy that I did do it. So I just got these ones out of the oven, and they actually look more like a cookie for sure. Hey everybody, it's the next day. I thought I would give you an update on these molasses buns. So I did the cookie shaped. They turned out really good. They're not too strong. They're quite crispy. So they've dried out overnight. Now I did have them in a Rubbermaid container to see how they would go, if they would stay moist. They did not really, but they're not really too bad. And then there's the bun. So this one, it is still soft in the middle, so it is pliable here, but considering that they came from the same dough, the buns are so strong. The molasses flavor, the clove flavor, everything is there, and it's great. It's a nice bun, but it's too strong. Now, whether or not, I don't know if that's the way they were cooked, because I did do them on 200 for an hour, and then I rose the temperature up. So is that? I don't know. So if someone can tell me, or if they happen to know, that would be great. Let me know on comments. But the cookies themselves, I really like them. They're really, really good. And I will definitely be doing those ones again. I think what I'll do is I'm going to put them in the fridge once the dough is made, and then take it out, roll it out, and cut them into biscuit shapes. Perfect. All right, back to our regular scheduled program. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I do want to do other things as well, and if you have some suggestions, please just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.